Hello, church family. It's good to be able to come and reach out to you, at least in a way of social distancing, to give you an update of what the elders, have been discussing this week. Not a whole lot of changes going on, but at our meeting last night, as we met through Zoom, we did discuss a few things we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of, and that's a reminder about the class schedule that's coming up on Sunday mornings. John McCarthy provides a nice adult class on the topic of Joseph, and that will remain as it has been always scheduled at 9 o'clock. There will also be a change that started last Sunday that will continue, and that's the kids class that Lori Sutton will be presenting is streamed at 9:30. And that finishes up in plenty of time for you to join with our services that are presented at 10 o'clock by either YouTube or Facebook. So we wanted to make sure that we reminded you of that. We also did want to again convey our hope and desire that by all means we can return to physical services at the building, and our target date is July 5th. This worship service will allow us to come together and meet again. It will be under the dictates of whatever constraints are there for social distancing as provided or directed by the governor's plans at that time. So whether we're in phase 2 or phase 3, whatever phase we're in, we'll be following those. Our deacons are working now to set up a protocol in order for us to meet all those standards, including social distancing as we're coming into the building, the wearing of masks, and short medical screening before we come in, just to make sure we're trying to keep everybody safe. Until that time is upon us where we can meet again, we will be continuing to do the e-service, if you will, the videos, and just as an update, you can be looking for some new faces at that worship service that gets sent out via Facebook and YouTube, as some of the deacons will be starting to help us with that. So it'll be good to see them participate. Last week, Richard had an excellent lesson about striving and keeping going on through the problems that we face, and striving to drive on and persevere. And I thought it was a very excellent lesson. That came from Philippians 3:17 through 16. If you want to do a preview of this upcoming lesson that Richard will provide this Sunday, that will continue in this verse, but be going on through Philippians 3, all the way from 17 to 21. And you can preview that. A great set of scriptures that tell us about persevering being the mark of maturity, really. In verse 15 there, it talks about those of us who are mature should be thinking in those realms. And I thought that was a great point, something that really hit home with me. A lot of the times when I'm feeling that I'm just not making strides that I should in my spiritual life, I'm not attaining the maturity at the level where I think I need to be. That's always a good goal for us to do some introspection and check up on. But really what Paul tells us here is the mark of maturity is to constantly strive to get back up when sin knocks you down. And my thought on that for today's devotional is, how do we do that? How do we work towards that maturity? And I'd like to encourage you to spend time in daily Bible reading and prayer. And this is a good mark, a good way for us to attain that. That daily spending of time with communication in God through prayer and studying the Word is essential for our maturity, and it does make an impact. I'd like to share just an example that I thought of. Hope I'm not going to freak anybody out with the picture here. But one thing that my wife and I did when we learned that some of the virus could be hiding under our wedding rings was to remove it. But if you'll notice on my ring finger there, it's been up 5 or 6 weeks now. You still see that plain indentation. You still see that mark there, that impression. And And I thought that was, maybe a mini parable of what it means for us with daily time in the Word and prayer to God. That wedding ring has not left my finger for some 30 years we've been married. And now when I take it off, there's no mistaking the impression and the mark that it has made. It's the same way with God's Word and getting into that. If we spend that time, that's going to make an impact on our lives. And that's what I'd encourage everybody to do, especially in this time where we maybe find some more time on our hands. Definitely make use of that, because it will make a difference. We have examples also from the Bible of them speaking of people who use their time wisely in that. In Acts 17, of course, Paul and Barnabas come to Berea, and they find that the people there said they were more noble or of more noble character than those in Thessalonica. And why? Is because they received the word with all eagerness, examining the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. So these people knew the value of daily time in the word. So that's a message I'd like to leave with you for some encouragement. Let's spend this time wisely and dig into the Word and spend time with God in prayer. We do appreciate you sticking with us and tuning into these little videos that we provide as a way of connecting. We hope it's beneficial to you and uplifting and some encouragement. Again, if there's anything that you have as far as a need for a prayer, request, please get in touch with us, and we'll be glad to go to God in prayer for you. God bless you. Hope everybody is staying safe and healthy as they are sheltering in peace.